Hello, welcome back. It's Laura. In this video, we are going to talk about the things that help us grow in our faith. So once we get past the heart issues that keep us from a right understanding of God and others, there is actually 4 activities that we can invest our time in that is going to help us to really grow and rely on the Lord more. And the way that we can explain it is through a diagram, which is wonderful. And there is 4 spokes. So right here we have a wheel, okay? And the wheel has 4 spokes. And just like any wheel, without the spokes, they're going to be evenly divided. The wheel's not going to be able to go. So kind of like us in our Christian faith, we're not going to be able to grow if any of these 4 spokes are missing. However, the spokes without the hubcap, the spokes don't matter. I mean, if there's nothing for it to hook into, your wheel is going to fall apart. So the wheel, in other videos, I have talked about the Spirit-filled life, but this is basically living in a way that's dependent, desperately dependent on God. It's not pulling up our bootstraps and trying real hard to live the Christian life, but it's living in a way of confess and surrender, living dependent. Like, I can't do this, God, will you do it through me type of way. So that is the heart, that is the core, that is the main thing, because we can do these other activities I'm going to talk about without Christ on the throne. We can do it with self on the throne by our own strength, and it's not going to produce fruit. It's not going to produce growth in our life. It's actually just going to be something that might look a little bit like fruit, but you take a bite and it's like, oh, that is disgusting, type of thing. So let me go over each of the 4 spokes. And conveniently, they're located in an up and down and horizontal way. So in the vertical way is we can think about vertically. Our relationship with God is going to grow when we talk to him, right? So when we actually share our heart, not just like checking things off a list, a prayer list or something, but really like talking to him. This is where I'm at. This is where my heart is. What do you think about that? Like a real relationship, talking to God. So that would be prayer. So let's put that down here, prayer. And then him talking to us, right? He talks to us. We have this incredible time period that we get to live in where we have access to God's word. This is him talking to us. This is his words. So spending time in his word, getting to know his heart and his character, the way he thinks about things, the way that he does things in history. So this is his word, or the Bible. So spending time talking to God, spending time listening to God through his word. So that's the vertical things that are going to help us grow in our relationship with God. Then the 2 things that are more horizontal, or dealing with the people around us, these are going to actually help us grow in our faith too, because iron sharpens iron, right? So investing in people is actually going to help us grow. So one of them is, we can call it community or fellowship, but it's not just like eating with people, all right? It's not just even spending time with people. It's being with believers and helping people live on mission for the glory of God, all right? And in Hebrews 3, God's word says, let us encourage one another as long as it's called today, so that we would not be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin, all right? So encouraging each other. And then in Hebrews 10:24, it talks about let's spur one another on towards love and good deeds. All right. So fellowship is like really being real and vulnerable with other believers, other people who are dependent and reliant on Jesus. It's spending time with them and helping them, pushing them, encouraging them towards love and good deeds. That is real fellowship. Okay. So fellowship is going to help us go spend time with believers. If we're not actually spending time with other believers, we're not going to grow. We're not. Like, when you see in the church in Acts 2, how people were being added to their number daily and they were growing, They were spending time together in God's word. They were reading God's word together daily, every day. It wasn't just like once a week or something. It was every day. Amazing, right? So that is going to help us grow in our faith and help the people around us grow in their faith. Okay, another thing, or the last spoke, we have God's word, we have prayer, we have community or fellowship. The last one is evangelism. So over here we have talking to believers about God and pushing them on towards love and good deeds. Evangelism is talking to non-believers about God. It doesn't have to be this super scary, crazy thing. It's just a real relationship with people. It's like, hey, where are you at about Jesus? What do you think about Jesus? Like, what's your spiritual experience been like? Has anything happened in your life that made you think God is real? What do you think about the Bible? Do you want to learn more about Jesus? Do you think he's God? Asking questions and just talking with people about God, and then helping them get to the point where they understand the gospel. And there's great resources for that. But these are the things. Okay, first, in Philemon 7, there's this great verse that talks about, I pray that you would be active in sharing your faith so that you may know every good thing given to you. Amazing, right? Sharing the gospel with other people helps us grow because it helps us know the good things God has given us. That is really cool. But if we're like stuck in a Christian bubble, we actually don't know any non-believers, we're not going to grow. We have to actually get to the point where we can experience some friction. We can love people when they don't love us back. Because Matthew 5:48 talks about, if you greet your brothers only, what is that? Even tax collectors do that. So we need to get in places where we can actually talk about Jesus with people that don't know Jesus. So these are the 4 things that are going to help us grow in our relationship with God. However, if it's done with self on the throne by our own effort, instead of God, would you do this through me? We're not going to grow. Or if any one of these is missing, like I'm unwilling, I couldn't talk to people about Jesus. I would offend them way too much if I talked to them. This kind of wheel doesn't grow either, right? Or if this is like you kind of don't really talk to God about like your real heart issues, or you're afraid to talk to him about really what you think and feel, it's going to be all distorted in this way, and we're going to have like a weird looking wheel, So each one of these spokes on the wheel is needed and essential to grow strong into a mighty warrior for Jesus that can make a huge impact for all eternity, and not get to heaven and look back and realize that you wasted your life, right? So the 4 things are: spend time with God in his word, spend time talking to him, spend time with his people and encouraging them, and spend time talking about him with non-Christians, people that don't know him. So talking about him, talking to him, listening to him is what it sums up as. All right. I hope this was helpful.